when we just hammer ourselves with that stressful, what's called an information dump. And this is like if you ever tried to learn on YouTube, or if you've taken a course or you're opening a book and you're just going right to the end. So you know how the song sounds, you can see a drummer do it. Maybe you're looking at the notes on a page and you're like, ah, and you don't have any of it. This is because you've skipped all the steps. You might be wondering, how the heck do drummers do it? It's like this, and you can see all this stuff in front of me. This isn't a freaking ukulele, right? This is a big instrument. Try to hug it. There's a lot of stuff here. How do drummers do all this and they get around? I know you're not alone. People wonder this all the time, and they think I have to have some kind of special coordination gene. I have to be born with the DNA. And it's totally not true, but I get watching, if you've never done it before, you're watching a drummer do all this, and you're thinking, how the heck do I do this? I gotta be like an octopus and get every limb doing something different. And maybe you've tried something with coordination in your life, and you think it's gonna transfer to drums, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm just not coordinated. I can't drum. I get it. We hear it all the time, and it's actually not true. And I'm gonna share with you why. So I can remember me when I was driving. I learned to drive a standard, and if you've ever done this, it's very challenging at first. You have to you got the left foot with the clutch, and then you got to let it off just right, and brake and gas, and going up a hill is different. So, and I remember everybody told me, man, Chris, you're a drummer. Driving a standard is going to be easy for you. And it was not freaking easy at all. It was really hard, and I totally underestimated what that experience would be like. And I can also remember the days of when I started drumming. I was in a cover band playing in this club, and the owner was this like gangster kind of guy. This like he wore nice suits, and he'd buy he'd buy all his friends drinks all the time, and he wanted to be the star of the show. Needless to say, that place ended up closing down after a while, and it didn't last. But my band was the band that played at this place like every week when I started drumming. And he really wanted to be, the star of the show. And I can remember like he wanted to sit in on the drums on the song called Mustang Sally, if you know it. Mustang Sally, right? Mustang Sally. And I remember him going, all right, Chris, give me your sticks. I'm gonna sit in on this song. And we couldn't say no because he owned the whole place. He was paying us. He was the star. And it's like, okay, if I'm gonna let one person play my drums, all right, fine, we'll humor him. And I can remember him wanting to play this song, and he sat there and was like, all right, Chris, I'm gonna show you how to do it. He would pick up his sticks, and it would be like, 1, 2, Mustang Sally. And he literally, for 5 or 6 minutes, had every limb going at the same time. I'll never forget it. Just like, kind of moving over here a little bit. And if you can see, like, both my feet. Mustang Sally. And if you've ever tried to drum and you feel like our friend here that tried to play all at the same time, that's how it can feel at first. So it's like, every limb is going together. How do we break that? And discouraged is to lose your courage. Discouraged, so to have your courage taken away. And we want that courage to face the challenges that drumming has, and to live our confidence and grow our best selves in drumming and in life, and face our fears with the best that we have in us. And to do that, we need that coordination. So how do we get it? And the good news is anybody can learn coordination through building muscle memory. And you probably know muscle memory. It's like when you tie a shoelace or ride a bike, you do it on total automaticity. And our bodies actually grows a substance called myelin. And that's almost like a sheath that goes over the neuron as it fires in our nervous system when you've done something so many times. So it's really just getting the reps where you breathe, you do it slowly, and you know just what you're doing, and you're following a system where you go step by step and you build the muscle memory, which anybody can do. And then what looks to the world like an octopus where everything's going at once, to you, you know how you've grown it step by step through growing the muscle memory and developing myelin in these motions that you're doing, which happens on the pedals in the hands, and eventually you express yourself with automaticity and effortlessness. Just imagine trying to build something on shaky ground. It's going to crumble, it's a house of cards, it's going to collapse. And if you've had that feeling, this is what makes people quit drumming. You'll never want to drum again. You'll just associate this with massive pain. You'll be trying to do it, trying to be like those other drummers that inspire you to love music and to want to drum in the first place, and just think, oh, I'll never be like that. And then all the myths like, I wasn't born with coordination, I just don't have the coordination, I don't have the DNA, I don't have the coordination genes, and then you just quit or you never try in the first place. And this is just not right. So you can drum. So if you want to meet me live and go deeper, schedule a free drumming vision session with me. I'd love to explain this more to you and show you how you build the coordination step by step. There's a great book called The Art of Learning by Josh Waitzkin, and he does different martial arts, and he's a chess champion, and he's just an amazing human being. He's got a book called The Art of Learning, and this is really what the LTR method teaches through drumming. It's the art of learning. What do you do with daily practice? How do you coordinate your movements? How do you grow muscle memory where you can express who you are, and the drums catch your movement, and then you can express your voice and play all the music that's in your heart and do things you can't even imagine that you're capable of, and you can do 100 times more than you think you can. It's buried inside you, and we want to tap into this potential, and we do this through LTR drumming. And it's really an illusion. Coordination becomes where you see our favorite drummers doing these things that amaze us and that inspire us, but they're actually doing a lot with a little. So sometimes we do this in language, where I know there's someone that teaches a language course, and he says, learn a new language in something like 30 days, like really fast, which is what we do in the LTR drumming method. We learn faster than the rest. And the way you save a lot of time is you learn these building blocks with a really solid foundation. You slowly build the muscle memory and the myelin, and you get these building blocks where once you own them, you can mix and match them, you can be creative with them, you can do them in a different way all the time, and express yourself by doing a lot with a little. And that's what these great drummers are doing. They're doing a lot with a little. So to someone on the outside that's never done it, it looks like, oh, it must be the coordination. It's not. What they've done is they've mastered just a few things and are able to do limitless expressions with them to live the art and the creativity that lives within us all.